Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my channel. My name is Jonathan. I am the spiritually awakened empath. If this is your first time on this channel and you're looking to gain a deeper understanding of the whole spiritual awakening process and everything that it entails, you've reached the right channel. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified each time I upload a video. To new subscribers, welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to reintegrate yourself into society after your hermit phase. Let's get started. The hermit phase can be extremely profound. You're taking in an enormous amount of information. You're doing some inner healing. Your DNA is literally changing at a cellular level. You're taking in massive amounts of information, but at a certain point, it's now time to reintegrate yourself into society. And this can be sometimes fearful. It can be overwhelming. It can cause anxiety, especially as you go, let's say, go back to work, because you want to be your authentic self, and you're going to want to spread your truth. You're going to want to start teaching people about what you've learned about spirituality in all the different aspects. But you will quickly find that the majority of individuals are going to have a wall, are going to have a barrier that is going to be up, because what's happening is you're contradicting their beliefs. You see, most individuals are tied to different religions, no matter if they're religious or not, no matter if they practice their religion or not. If they're tied to a certain religion, it's going to be really hard to convince them of anything different than what they've been taught. And that's why sometimes you really have to be creative as to how you can open people's minds, how you can get people to start thinking about different situations in different ways. I'll give you guys an example as to how I would start spreading my truth. Okay, because you can't come directly out and really go into depth with the spirituality. It's the same thing as if you take a university level student that's learning about physics, and now he's trying to teach this to a 5-year-old child that's in kindergarten. That 5-year-old child is only going to be able to know what the numbers are, the signs, and the rest of the things he won't be able to understand. And that's how you have to move forward. Instead of going always directly towards the exact point as far as a specific thing to do with spirituality, you have to find a creative way to get the message across. Okay, and I'll give you an example. Let's say I had a friend that just went through a breakup. He comes up to me, he's like, I just broke up with my girlfriend, it just didn't work out. I'm like, sorry. I'm like, what happened? And then he starts telling me that he's gone through 3 different girlfriends and he's relived the exact same situation. I can't come out right away and tell him absolutely everything. You have to guide them easily. So I'd be like, oh yeah, 3, you had the exact same relationship 3 times in a row. What was the common trait with these relationships? What was the one thing that was in common with them? And it's going to start, even though this might be done at a subconscious level, he's going to start to learn the life lessons. And then I'd ask him and be like, did it really, come from a place of curiosity? Did it really end the exact same way all 3 times? And then once again, you'll start be looking back on this, because the majority of people don't take time to really have these deep thoughts, really think deeply about different life situations. So right there, he would have told me exactly what happened. Then I'd be like, well, you must have learned a life lesson out of this. You must have learned something out of this. And once again, he might not be able to give me the answer I'm looking for, but at a subconscious level, he will be starting to think about this. And then once again, I'd play on his ego. I bet you don't even know what you want out of a woman. I bet you have no idea what qualities you want. And then, of course, his ego would play into it. Of course, I know what I want. I bet you can't even write me down 10 qualities that you actually are honestly looking for in a woman. And now what that's going to do, it's going to shift his focus from what he doesn't want to attract, and now it's going to shift it into what he does want to attract. And then I would look at the list and I tell him, listen, as soon as you find this woman, bring her my way, because she sounds absolutely perfect. If I was you, I would put this down on your nightstand and I would literally reread this over and over each night until she comes into your life. Right there, I just taught him about the most powerful time that he's able to manifest. And he's doing all this stuff and he's not even realizing. I never once really mentioned anything about spirituality. And that's how you have to approach people. That's how if you want to spread your love or your truth or be your authentic self, that's the way you must do it, because you will realize if you come out straight out and talk about anything remotely deep as far as spirituality, most people, you're going to lose people so fast it's not even funny. Most people are going to think what you're talking about is absolutely fairy tale, because at some level you're going to be attacking them. As in, if you're telling them, listen, your reality is based off of how you feel on the inside, and someone is having their life is chaotic, they're constantly living in fear, they're constantly living with anxiety, they're living, they're feeling like they're victim, they feel like they're in survival mode. Well, you're telling them, listen, you feel like shit about yourself, you have no self-worth, no self-love, no confidence, and you're constantly being pessimistic. So there's going to be a wall that's going to be coming up. They're going to get defensive real quickly. So when you want to start talking about anything spiritually related, try really to come from a creative way like this. You really have to be creative. And not only that, really tone down how intellectual you are, as in the way that you're trying to explain something to someone. Literally try to explain it at the simplest of levels. And you have to understand that a lot of people have these beliefs. They've had these beliefs since they were born. And as soon as you start to throw some idea out of them that's completely different than their beliefs, most of the time there will be a barrier. And that's why you will lose a lot of friends, and you will have to distance yourself from family members, because it's going against their beliefs, you see. But you got to understand that it's just by allowing yourself light to shine and just being your authentic self, people are going to notice. I'm telling you this, people are going to notice. You won't even have to interact with people. It'll be people at your work will notice there's something different about Jonathan right now. I can't pinpoint exactly what it is. And they'll start seeing exactly how you're acting and you're reacting, and it's going to get the ball rolling inside their head. They're going to start having deeper thoughts. You're going to be influencing others, and you won't even realize this. And for you empaths out there, it can be overwhelming, but what I really want you to understand is always put yourself first and always trust your inner guidance. This past summer, I made the mistake of not trusting my intuition about staying away from this person, this relative. Because it was a relative, I figured maybe there's a chance I can help this energy vampire get out of this depressive state. And even though I knew from the get-go, I tried to help this person out, and then it backfired on me. I ended up connecting with her again on Facebook several months later, and she left some very not hateful, but like some really negative comments that it really hurt me down deep. And that's when I realized to trust my intuition above all. And going back to it can be overwhelming, being surrounded with a bunch of different people. So what I suggest doing is download a meditation app, a meditation on your phone. Bring your headphones, keep them at work, and every time you start feeling your energy being drained, or you're starting to feel that a little sad or something like that, something is upsetting you, go to the washroom, go in the stall and do a 2-3 minute meditation. And it's the same thing at lunchtime. Even if you're not vegetarian, maybe you might want to start considering to bring more energy rich foods at work to eat during your lunchtime, and spend the 10-15 minutes eating and talking with your coworkers, but then go outside, go do a 10-15 minute walk. And then it's the same thing in the afternoon. If you see your energy drop down a bit, well, go redo that meditation. You'll be amazed at how powerful 2-3 minutes of meditating can be. And also, there's certain things you must start to accept as an empath. If you feel burnt out after your days of work, if you have to have a nap, guess what? Even if you're an adult, you have to have a nap. Have that power nap and allow yourself to get re-energized. You have to find these things, and as you get back into society, start seeing what works for you and what doesn't, what needs to be changed, and start adapting your life like that. It's just like intentions and affirmations. Always be setting out intentions and affirmations on a daily basis. I intend on having a safe drive to and from work. I intend on speaking very clearly during my presentation. I'm so glad and grateful that they are implementing exactly what I just gave them in my presentation. You see, and start seeing the best in individuals, and that's what you're going to draw out of them. It's the same thing. Start expecting situations to turn out in your favor. You're more powerful than you think. You're able to literally create the reality that you want. You're able to have the perfect day. You're able to mold anything that you like in order to have the exact type of experience that you want. Okay, you're an infinite spiritual being. You're not just this body isn't just who you are. You are extremely powerful. And as time goes on, you're going to be remembering more and more and more as to how powerful you are. And once you start aligning up with your life's path, you're going to see that you won't have to try to influence everyone. You won't have to try to get the truth out to everyone, because everyone is going to come to you in its own way. And it doesn't matter what you want to do in your life mission, whatever truly makes you happy. It doesn't matter if you want to bake. Let's say you're an amazing baker and your pastries are the best tasting things in the world. Guess what? You're bringing love and joy into someone's life. You're making them feel happy. It's just as powerful as being a spiritual guy. You know, whichever path you go down, as long as it's something done from love and truly makes you happy, God will bring forth those who need your healing, those who need your loving energy. That's going to do it for the video, guys. I love you guys. You guys have an amazing day. Namaste.